get it going. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I'm going to actually remove that first slide so you can see me. I don't want to mess anything up this time, so let's see. There I am. I need to take a deep breath and to chill out for just a second. That's one of those things that, the show obviously must go on, but you're like, man, I just want to make it through this, and I did. Really, really fortunate. A little bit of housekeeping stuff before we begin. I've allotted 30 minutes for the webinar, and looks like I've already cut into our time. I'm still going to go the full 30 minutes, and I hope you guys can stick with me with this as well. But I want to start by saying I'm really humbled by the number of participants that had signed up for it. But in lieu of that, rather than have a back and forth discussion with a whole bunch of questions in the middle of this, given the amount of people, if you have questions or you do have comments, please leave them in the chat section, and hopefully we'll have some time to go over those at the end, and I'll keep the chat section open. I'm still looking at the yes. So funny. If you've never heard me present before, and probably most of you haven't, I always like to start with a story. And for this one, I'm going to bring you guys way, way back to when I was a wee little guy, about maybe 5 or 6 years old. So if you'd all take a moment and do me a huge favor. If you can close your eyes and visualize yourself when you're 5 or 6 years old, like kindergarten age, being in elementary school. And for me, when I was 5 or 6, I was actually really fortunate because I grew up on a street when I was really small, a whole bunch of other kids my age. So when I went off to elementary school, I already had a whole lot of connections with other people. But picture yourself in kindergarten at lunch in the cafeteria. And if your cafeteria was anything like mine, we had these really long rectangular tables. They seemed, when you're a little kid, they seemed like they were 100 miles long. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember this vividly. Sitting at the table, talking with my friends, and looking at the other end of the table all the way down, and seeing one kid unfortunately eat all by himself. And this wasn't a one-time deal. This was day after day after day. His name was Peter, and I'll always remember Peter. Peter was seen as the different kid or the weird kid, and he would sit at the lunch table all by himself. He'd keep his head down as he ate. His hair was disheveled, and his hair was always in his eyes. He didn't make eye contact with anybody. And that same dynamic, unfortunately, unfolded at recess, where we'd be playing soccer or kickball or, in the jungle gym, whatever we did back in the day. And he'd be wandering the periphery. He'd be on the outskirts, looking over, trying to get into the mix and in the milieu with the other kids, but just never having the skill set to be able to do it. And here's the travesty of it all. Here's the travesty of Peter, is that the lunch lady or ladies in the cafeteria would walk right past him and not say or do anything. And recess, no one would get him involved and get him in the mix with the other people. Back then, I didn't have the feelings vocabulary that I certainly do now, but words like embarrassment, shame, humiliation, these are the words that certainly experience what this poor kid felt. I went home, I actually talked to my parents about it, and they said, well, you have a birthday, Chris, coming up. Why don't you invite him to your birthday party? And I did. But again, it was this similar dynamic where we tried to I remember playing capture the flag with them, tried to bring him in the mix, but he'd kind of slowly get back in and just didn't have that skill set, that social skills that are necessary in order to really be successful in life. And, unfortunately, given what I do, and there's a lot of kids out there that currently feel like Peter did back in the day. And maybe you all know somebody like that. Maybe you even have a child that has some similar qualities or characteristics than Peter. And if If somebody wants to connect with others, I want to help them with that. I don't want people to feel that shame and that embarrassment and that humiliation that Peter did. Let me take a quick moment to introduce myself, by the way. I'm Dr. Christopher Haley. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, and I'm the owner of a private practice called the Social Skills Center. I have been teaching social skills to children, adolescents, adults, older adults since 1999. I've been doing it. Time goes by really quick. I've been doing it 21 years, and I teach these really important skills using individual help, where I meet with people one-on-one. And even more powerfully, I do 12 different social skills groups every single week for kids as young as 5 and 6, all the way up to as I said, older adults. And I'm going to give you all a little teaser now. Got some information I'll share at the end, but for those of you, because we started way late, are unable to stick with me for the whole 30 minutes. We are proud to announce that we're expanding our services now nationwide and worldwide via this medium through what we call our new coaching program. I'll tell you all about that a little bit more down the road. I've always been a huge believer that social skills, I call them essential life skills. In that, if you're a really good communicator, if you're an exceptional listener, really important social skill, if you can network and you can connect with people in life, you are going places. For those of you that are parents, you may want to cover your ears on this one, but I've been saying this 21 years. I believe, I know that social skills correlate higher with success in life than school grades. Higher in success. They're more important than school grades. I don't want to never want to minimize the importance of school. I wouldn't be sitting here doing what I do. I wouldn't have the doctor title in front of my name if I didn't do well in school. But to me, it's the ability to connect. If you can network, if you're a great communicator, if you're good at this, you're going to be successful in life, whether you get A's, B's, or C's in school. I've always said that, a firm believer in it. And for those cases that I followed over 21 years, I know it to be true. And from my own experiences as well. So now we're dealing with this world of social distancing. We're dealing with being quarantined in our homes. I just ran through this audio drama in my house where I've been for the last 7 weeks. I'm in the office in my home. But the question today is, how do we, as parents, how are we supposed to help our kids with social skills, given that we're confined to the home? And here's my fear. I've actually been saying this all along, and probably many of you have been thinking the same thing, I would imagine. When I have 4 kids, and when the kids first learned that school was going to be out for an extended period of time, they're like, yeah, cool, yippee, no schoolwork, get to play video games for all day, blah blah blah. So what a lot of my kids were thinking, and a lot of the kids I was seeing in the Social Skills Center were thinking. But here's my fear, and I knew this would happen. What happens after 2 weeks? What happens after 3 weeks? Well, I'll tell you what happens. Boredom sets in because you get sick of doing the same thing again and again and again. And then even worse, loneliness. It's time to get these kids reconnected again. I'm sure you're already trying to do that, but that's what today is about. And we can go back to the foundation here. We can go back to the things that we always talk about, family dinners and working with our kids on communication skills in a family dinner. We can teach them in a family dinner to take a genuine interest in other people. For example, I hope the conversation at my dinner table tonight is, hey, Dad, how'd that webinar go? Well, I hope I say fantastic, except for the first 15 minutes that didn't go all that well. And then I'm hoping for, oh, well, what did you do? Or the kids to ask follow-up questions based on that, because taking a genuine interest in other people is a huge social skill. We can teach active listening at the dinner table. We can, after dinner, play board games and have family game night to assist them with taking turns and dealing with their frustrations. But you guys already know that. You guys already know this stuff. And because you know it, I'm actually hoping that you're already doing it and that you have a family dinner and a game night planned tonight or at some point in the near future. I had referenced myself when I was 5 or 6 years old. If this pandemic had hit back then, I don't know what we would have done, because you know what the technology was, how we stayed connected? It was a rotary telephone with the long cord where you'd be on the phone. And I'm one of six. I have three other siblings, so there's four kids in my family plus my parents. And back in the day, when someone else was on the phone and another person tried to call in, you'd get ma ma, get the busy signal. So only one person out of the six of us could be on the phone, and I don't know how we would have dealt with it back then. So I'm going to take a deep breath, because technology's never been my favorite thing. But I'm going to ask you to do what I'm asking myself to do, which, let's embrace 2020. 2020 has been a tough year, still is a tough year for a lot of people, but let's embrace it and welcome the technology that we have, because we're confined in our homes through no fault of our own. Let's take advantage of this technology to stay connected. And as always, in the traditions of the Social Skills Center, I've always prided myself on coming up with unique and creative ideas. So here we go. This is it. These are my top ways of arming your kids' social skills during social distancing. And I want to go back to the basics. We always have to start with the foundation. And so how do you socialize during social distancing? It's distancing. Somebody's here, somebody's here. Well, what we do is you have to do we do distant socializing. We need to socialize when people are here. We embrace technology because it allows us to do that. This is how we do it. And these are my rules, by the way, when I came up with this list. It's got to be something fun. It's got to be something engaging. It's got to be something safe. And it's got to not be video game related, although I cheated a little bit at the end. You'll see that in a few minutes when we get there. And one other thing real quick, parent involvement is always essential. You want to know what your kids are doing. All these distant social media recommendations that I'm going to be making today are ways for kids to connect, but be part of it, know what's going on, be a regular participant in it. All right, let's get started. Let me pull up the slides again. There we go. And I'm going to be present with you, but down in the corner. One sec. So here are the basics. The platforms that I'm sure you've heard of, at least some of these platforms. FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, obviously all great ways to stay connected, right? I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is another great feature. It includes like phone calls, your regular texting stuff. You can do live video calls. It's all for free. I should have told you to pull out a pen or paper. You may have that handy already. But for Google Hangouts, if you visit hangouts.google.com, it's a platform, and it's going to offer some of the similar things that a Zoom or a Skype would. Now, the last one is interesting. I don't know if you guys know about this, but if you have a child who's in that 6 to 10-year-old range, I call them this is the pre-social media crowd. If you have a child of that age, be sure to check out, this is done by Facebook. It's called Messenger Kids. It's an app. You can get it in your typical app store. When you get to the app store, just search Messenger Kids. It's really popular, so it'll come up. And for these pre-social media kids, it does silly things. Like you can send funny emojis back and forth. The kids really smile and get a kick out of it. You can take a selfie and give yourself the little bunny ears or funny glasses, and you go back and forth with your friends. It's the kids that I've seen are really, really responding well to it. But here's the problem with just using a platform like Skype or like Zoom. I'm going to reference Zoom a lot because I use it in the private practice when I'm seeing my clients. I use it for all my online groups. And I use it actually for my business meetings as well. So I reference it a lot. But if I'm FaceTiming on my cell phone here and you're chatting with someone, that's cool. Again, maybe for a week, maybe for 2 weeks. But now that we're 7 weeks in, that's going to get old. And the kids may get bored of that sort of interaction. And I think what I want to do is make something or have ideas that are much more engaging and much more interactive than that. So just as you would plan an in-person, real-life play date, it's time to consider some virtual play date planning with the following recommendations. Number one, this has always been a big hit. Now, I found with this, number one is dance party, by the way. I found with having a dance party online, and all you have to do is you pull up one of the platforms that I mentioned, and I'll use Zoom, for example. And if it's a play date of 2 or even more, everybody has Zoom pulled up. You can see each other, and you basically do exactly what it says, is you have a dance party. This can be done with kids. This can be done like in the photo with a mom and a child interacting with another mom and a child. And this is all about sharing moves. This is all about, hey, you do what I do, having a silly dance competition, having the best move competition. And like I said, parents can get involved with the dance competition. If you dance anything like me, you're going to definitely get laughed at because I've been told I dance like Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld. I don't know if you remember this. It's a totally funny episode, by the way. So you'll definitely get some laughs from me. I found that dance party is more hit or miss, all or none with kids. Some kids totally into it, love it. It becomes the go-to. Other kids, they want to pass and they want to move on to hopefully one of my other ideas. Another great idea when you're on a platform to spice things up, make them interesting, make it more appealing for the kids. Would you rather? You guys are probably already familiar with this game. I'll play a couple rounds with you just so you can be familiar with it. I love it because it not only encourages thinking about the questions that I'm going to give to you, it encourages back and forth communication, and it's fun. For example, would you rather, and think about this as you're doing it, would you rather eat only pizza for 1 year, only pizza, or eat no pizza for 1 year? Think about it for a second. Only pizza for 1 year or no pizza for 1 year? For me, that would be no pizza for 1 year. I wonder what kids would say on that one. Here's one that I pose in my groups a lot. Would you rather be the best player on a team that always loses, or be the worst player on a team that always wins? I'm thinking about that one. A lot of kids on that one, they would like to be the worst player on a team that always wins. And then one more real quick, because some of these are really funny. And this is, I would have responded to this differently back in the day than a lot of kids would now. Would you rather give up electronics for 1 whole month or give up sweets for 1 whole month? A lot of the kids don't want to give up their electronics. So so they're going to say, I'd rather give up the sweets for 1 month. Back in the day, I was playing the Atari 2600. I would have given that up easily, and not given up my ice cream sandwiches that I loved. Let's do some more. A fun one. This one's really engaging. It's called 5-Second Guess, and it's very, I don't know if you remember Family Feud back in the day, Richard Dawson. It is Family Feud-like, but it's time limited. So you only have 5 seconds to answer the question. Gets those little wheels turning in the brain for kids to come up with quick answers. Be creative, make it fun. There's an app you can pull up for this that generates questions for you, or you can encourage the kids to be creative and actually come up with their own. For example, and do this in 5 seconds, because I'm going to time you. Name 3 vegetables. I bet you did that one. All right. A little bit more challenging, I think, is this one. Name 3 subjects in school. I bet you got that one too. All right. One final one. I'm going to throw you for a loop on this one. Name 3 animals in Minecraft. Gotcha. You probably could have named any. Your kids would have gotten that one easily in 5 seconds. Sheep, pigs, cows, chickens, spiders, a lot of animals in Minecraft. If you said, by the way, if you said creeper, that's not an animal. If you said Herobrine or Ender Dragon, those are not really considered the animals in Minecraft. If you actually knew of those, though, very impressive. Here's one for typically for an older crowd, Jeopardy. And if you're a Jeopardy fan like I am, well, then you've probably been watching Greatest of All Time because they're re-airing it this week. But if you're a Jeopardy fan like I am, and visit jeopardylabs.com. The website is there. You can actually create your own Jeopardy template. And if you're on Zoom and you're playing against, or you can play with in collaboration with someone, you can create your own template and share it on the screen on Zoom and have your own little Jeopardy contest or Jeopardy match. And again, this can be done with you and another person. This can be done with multiple people. But again, a creative way to keep kids engaged. One of my all-time favorites in doing the online groups, now I've been doing the online groups for 7 weeks in a row now. One of my all-time favorites for the kids that I see in group is Pictionary. And this is how we do it. Excuse me. If you're on Zoom, Zoom allows the host to share a whiteboard. And if everyone gets on there and you share the whiteboard, you can actually take the cursor or the drawer on the whiteboard and pass it on to different people, which it lends itself to a perfect game of Pictionary where one kid makes their drawing and then the other kids are on the right-hand side of the screen shouting out answers. Oh, I think it's a pig. Oh, I think it's SpongeBob SquarePants or whatever. And some of the guesses are so funny. And then you can play it different ways. If you can play it, whoever guessed it gets the cursor and can make the next drawing. Or what's really more fair is we just take turns. You go right down the line, and then the next person takes over. This is a game that really is engaging to kids. They can get absorbed with it and really stay connected because you're looking at your friends and the people you want to connect with right on the screen, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for connection. Another one that is a huge favorite in my social skills groups online is what's called Draw Together. It's set up the same way on a whiteboard. And what's most interesting about Draw Together is that I didn't come up with it. Young kids came up with this idea, and the kids can be so creative. It's so inspiring. But here's how you play Draw Together. You go on Zoom or similar. You open up the whiteboard, and one person takes the cursor, and they make one mark, a circle, a line, a triangle, parallelogram. It doesn't matter. They're all doing one mark, one stroke. The cursor then gets passed on to the next child. And then it gets passed on to the next child and the next child. Each time someone is making a mark, a circle, a squiggly, whatever they want. And then over time, you create a really nice, gigantic, sometimes it's a bit of mishmash. Sometimes it isn't just one thing, but it's more of like an abstract work of art. Then what you do to make it awesome, and again, I didn't come up with this, the kids did. Everyone signs their name. And whoever is host takes a screenshot of it and then emails the work of art with all the little signatures to each of the participants, to each of the artists. What happens here is they all take this stuff and they hang it in their room. And they're really, really proud. So, and then a couple other things that I didn't put on this slide, but that are also really nice. With the Zoom program, the kids came up with this. It's called the funniest background. We'll do this for like the last 3 minutes of a social skills meeting online, where you can actually change the background behind you. So you could be in space going like this, and space is behind you. There's one of a beach scene. There's one of the Golden Gate Bridge. But what the kids discovered is that next to the different backgrounds, there's also a little plus button. So if you hit plus, you can go on your own computer and pull up your own background. So just last night, was it either my 5 o'clock or my 6 o'clock group? I can't remember. One kid, for example, they said, who can come up with the funniest background? He had a huge Sprite can behind him, and he was able to work his way back and put his arms like this almost like he was drinking the Sprite. It was so funny. Another one of the kids had, she had taken a picture of her cat when her cat was like making a really funny, weird face. So that's what she had as her background. Yeah, the kids are creative. And then I'll throw this. Sometimes I go off script and go on a little tangent. But these are all good things. These are funny things. The kids also came up with, on Zoom, everyone has a name. You can see what their name is. And I make them put their real names in there at the start. But at the end, we'll have a funniest name contest. So just last night, the funniest name contest happened. I always participate because I like to have fun with them. The kid that won that had the funniest name, he changed his real name to Name, as in Name. Everyone started laughing. I changed mine. I didn't win. I was a little, I don't know about this. I changed mine to Dr. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. They laughed, but I didn't win. Let's get to another slide. All right. Got it. A couple other fun things for online. Oh, and actually, this one involves a prop. I don't know if anyone has ever seen Dude Perfect. I bet some of you know this. Go to YouTube in the search engine or the search bar, type in Dude Perfect. They play a game called Flip the Bottle. This is Flip the Bottle. I actually brought my prop. You take the bottle. You guys know this. You go like this. Wait. That was a fail. I can't believe I did it. I actually practiced that as much as I practiced my audio. Only that one I got right. But with Flip the Bottle, which was a big, really popular thing, maybe a couple years ago, it's not just flipping the bottle on a table. It's flipping the bottle and trying to land it on my windowsill. I have a couple of soft chairs in front of me, flipping a bottle and try to land it on that. So you and your buddies get together and let's have a contest of Flip the Bottle. Watch Dude Perfect. You'll get a really good idea what can be done with that. For younger kids, especially the Lego crowd, building the tallest tower. I've had kids again and again say that this is the funnest activity out of all the different things that I'm talking about today. You take one Lego, you put it on a table, and then you start stacking Legos. You only have a base of one. Obviously, the wider your base, the higher you can go, but try it first with a base of one Lego on top of each other. And then all of a sudden, when it starts getting high, then you're worried about balance. So you have to position your Legos in a different way. And the contest can simply be who has the highest one. It can be who has the most creative one. It doesn't have to be Legos. It could be Jenga, as I put in there. It could be I've seen kids do it with plastic Solo cups where they make a huge tower. Who can make the highest tower? Again, whatever it's going to take to get them connecting, laughing, talking, being creative. That's what this is all about. I think out of all the groups online that I've done, I think show and tell is the best, because I've learned so much about the kids who I used to see in person that I'm now seeing online. And their fellow group members who knew them well face-to-face in group. Now you're going into someone's house and they're doing exactly what we're doing here. Things like pets. The kids, showing their pet and the pride and check out my cat. And not only is there the pride and look at my cat or look at my dog, then the other kids start asking questions. Oh, what type of dog is it? How long have you had the dog for? What is your dog's name? It creates this. It creates interaction. It creates this positivity. And it doesn't have to be pets. Lots of the kids have a setup. They'll do the meeting in their bedroom, and they'll have a desk that's against the wall, so you can see their entire room behind them. And you'll see an assortment of stuffed animals on the bed that the other kids are like, oh, what's that one? What's that one? I have one really nice kid who has a shelf behind him, and it has Lego cities. It has like San Francisco, Las Vegas, Paris, and again, just the pride. And I created this, and look what I have. I've had kids share medals. I have another kid that he He has the Taekwondo belts, like every single belt is wrapped around like a belt holder behind him, and it strikes up awesome conversation. And it's from a self-esteem standpoint to have your fellow group members be proud of you. It goes such a long way. What a great thing to do from home using Zoom or similar. The scavenger hunt is really popular with younger kids, and basically get adult involved, and the adult is creative and comes up with maybe 3 things for the kids on Zoom to find. So if you're having a scavenger hunt party with 4 other kids, one parent says, okay, here's the hunt. Find me, who's the first that can find me a large paperclip, a battery, and just because I'm funny, or try to be anyway, a sock with a hole in the heel. Go. And as long as they're safe and not running too fast, they run around the house, they'll start asking parents, where can I find a paperclip? Have you seen a sock with a hole in it? Then they all come running back and they show it. Look what I found. And then maybe the next parent in the next house who's on the Zoom call can come up with 3 more things. I bet you guys haven't heard of pogo.com. Maybe some of you have. It's a website with dozens and dozens and dozens of online games, things like Yahtzee, Scrabble, Mahjong. This is more for those that are into the board games and things like that. I once had a pair of twins tell me, board games are boring. This one wouldn't be for them. But if you have kids that do like the board games, check out pogo.com. Your kids might be interested in that. The favorite card game of all time, and this probably was the most popular card game back in the 70s and 80s when I was a little guy, Uno. You have several options with Uno, including the Let's Play Uno that I put on there. That's actually whoever makes Uno. It's either Hasbro, it might be Mattel. Mattel, that's the Mattel version of it. So that's like the official one. But if you have a pen, write this down. Play.unofreak.com. Play.uno, U-N-O freak, Freak.com. That's the one that my group members use. So what this happened 2 days ago. On Tuesday, after I finished up with my 4 o'clock group, they're 14, 15-year-olds. What they like to do is right when we're logging off, they all go on to play.unofreak.com and spend another hour after our social group connecting and playing Uno. Again, I use the word fan favorite. It's a fan favorite with them. Some kids are into card games, other kids aren't. But for kids that are into cards and like Uno, what a great option. Go Noodle, and again, you may know this one. Go Noodle, and this goes back to the dancing, it's a website, gonoodle.com. They offer 3 to 5 minute dance routines that you do by yourself or you do with family members, and you take those and you share it back and forth with other family and other friends. Definitely check it out. Again, if your kids like the dance party, the first one, they'll definitely like Go Noodle. And a couple others for you guys. This, I don't know if you guys, obviously you're familiar with Netflix. I don't know if you'd be familiar though with Netflix Party. What Netflix Party is if you have a Netflix subscription and people you know or your kids' friends have a Netflix subscription, what you can do is you can go to the movies together. Obviously, we can't go to the movies these days. Kids and teens love going to movies, but what a great, whoever thought of this, very smart, what a great way to watch movies together. One person goes in and you pick the movie that you want, and then you can get the movie synchronized to other people that you're watching with so that the movie starts at the exact same time. Plus, again, they're really creative. They added a chat feature so that whatever device you're watching on, your iPad or similar, you on the right-hand side, you can chat as you're watching the movie. At least it's not an audio chat, though. That would be a little bit annoying, but you can chat back and forth with your friends. An exciting and educational idea, a virtual field trip together with your friends. Waterford.org is just one website of many, but I like this one the best. Again, you go on Zoom, one person shares their screen with all the different participants or all the friends that are on there, and they all watch that one screen. But the places that you can go, little kids, they love aquariums. Obviously, the world famous San Diego Zoo, the Great Wall of China. Most of us have never been there, probably never will. What a great experience that would be. The beauty of Yellowstone National Park, or a place we'll never go, at least in our life. Well, maybe not, I shouldn't say that. A walk on Mars. There's a walk on Mars, and you can do that from the comfort of your own home with your friends right there, having that experience with you. And also educational. I think you guys are probably familiar with virtual group classes. Yes, there's many possibilities here, which is having on Zoom arts and crafts classes together, drawing classes, cooking classes. They have STEM classes, if you guys are familiar with STEM, which is the science, technology, engineering, and math. And all you need to do is go on and Google virtual group classes. Several will come up. Again, it's just a sharing your screen where you can do things together, like a drawing class. The examples I put in there, hisawyer.com, that one is actually a paid one, but if you go there and click on the tab that says online courses, you'll see a whole variety, but I'd go for the free ones. And a really nice one that I've learned of is Jerry's Artorama.com if you want to take group art classes. It's just a matter of sharing the screen on Zoom. Kids enjoy it, plus it's educational. Can't go wrong with that. And now here's where I'm going to stray, but with good reason, before you flame me on this one. There are a couple, the goal here is to keep kids off the Fortnites. That's our goal. But there are a couple benign games that are out there that are really can be social. Minecraft is a great one. It's a benign game. You're building things, you're mining for things, you're crafting things. Now with Minecraft, right now with the technology, and they probably did this on purpose for safety reasons, is you can only type chat. So you can get on your own little world and your own little server with your friends, and it's secure, but you have to type chat. What would be nice is if the kids could actually verbally communicate. And in order to do that on Minecraft, you can go to, there's other platforms than this, but if you go to Discord, it's an app. Go to discordapp.com. Oh, it must be a website, discordapp.com. Discord app to learn about it, but it is an app. And if you download Discord and you have a little headset like this, hopefully it will work. If you have a little headset like that, you can actually mine and talk and collaborate. I like that about a benign game like Minecraft. Pokemon Go, also a super benign game. Watch this one with social distancing. This one's typically done outside, but if people are willing to maintain the 6 feet, there's nothing wrong with people going out and capturing Detective Pikachu here and other Pokemon. Just fun. It's fun stuff to do. I would hold off personally on the Pokemon Go until things settle down a little bit more. But it's a nice way for kids to connect. And back when Pokemon Go was popular, you'd see groups and groups of people walking around with their cell phones catching stuff. As I said before, just to finish up some of my recommendations, I know I've gone over on time, and I apologize that, and I appreciate all of you that have stuck with me here. The family social connections are a great way to teach social skills. Family dinners, walking, biking, all these different things that I hope you guys are already doing. One great thing that was recommended to me that I've explored, it's called Jackbox Games. And what Jackbox Games is everybody grabs a smartphone or a tablet. And as a family, you sit and you watch TV, but on the TV is some sort of fun interactive game, and you're using your phone almost as like a Jeopardy. You'd respond. So you would use your phone to respond to answer questions. Those that I have talked to that play it with their families, they say it's really awesome. There is cost with it, but it's reasonable. You buy multiple game packs for maybe $12 or $15 or $20. So it's reasonably priced. It is a great way for families to stay connected, be communicative, and put a smile on your face. We need smiles during this difficult time. So let me finish with this. We keep hearing with coronavirus that we're all in this together, which I firmly believe. But long before coronavirus, I've always looked at social skills the same way, in that as a parent myself, or if you're an educator, or if you're a clinical psychologist in private practice like me, that we're in it together to teach these kids social skills. What I don't want is a Peter situation where people just walk by and allow it. That's what that made that my life's mission, is to help the Peters of the world be able to connect. And I feel that we're all, as educators, as parents, as professionals, we're all in this together to teach these essential life skills. I view my job as a parent and as a psychologist, I view my job giving kids skills so that when they're 18 or soon thereafter, they can fly the coop and have the greatest chance of success. And we do this by teaching social skills, by teaching responsibility, by teaching financial management, cooking skills, cleaning skills. If you can arm your child with these essential skills, they're going to have a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to succeed in life. And I've got to say, I'm sure you're in agreement here. These are tough, challenging, frustrating times for all of us. But deep down, they can also be rewarding times, and times where we look back years from now and say that we not only helped our kids maintain social skills, but we actually enhanced them as well. And that's what I'm hoping that we're all going to say down the road. And I'm hoping that the strategies that I've tried to arm you all with today will be helpful in doing that. At the Social Skills Center in my private practice, we're going to continue to help our clients connect. And as I started with, I'm super excited to announce that just within the last few weeks, we've started our new online coaching program. We do it across the nation, and we've even gone worldwide with this. We're offering individual coaching sessions as well as group coaching sessions for all ages. The online coaching with groups, it's more than social skills. It's connecting with others. It's getting acceptance. It's being part of something meaningful. That's what Peter didn't get when he was younger. He didn't get to be part of a group and feel welcomed and feel appreciated and feel valued. That's the most important thing when it comes to social skills. Eye contact, remembering someone's name, genuinely appreciating other people. Those are all awesome things to know, but feeling accepted and appreciated and part of a group, that's what we're all about with the groups that we run. To learn more about us, please visit socialskillscenter.com. I hope you visit our website. Let me take a quick look at the chat. There's a lot of information in there, and I will review it all. We are going to have a follow-up. I don't have anything planned right now, but I know we're going to have a follow-up in the very near future. It might just be a Q&A to deal with all the feedback that you guys have given me, but it might not. I don't really know. If you want questions answered immediately, please email me, or also visit. I know most of you guys are Facebook savvy. We started a Facebook group. It is called Social Skills Circle. Social Skills Circle. Please join it. Ask your questions there. I'm on there every single day, and we'd be more than happy to get back to you. And what's better about that is not only will you get feedback from the professional, me, you're also going to get feedback from a whole bunch of other wonderful parents who are in this together with you to teach their kids essential life skills. I want to apologize again for the glitch at the start. Again, I'm not being a technologically savvy guy. I'm not sure what happened. I thank you all for sticking with me and putting up with that 15 minutes where I was sweating it. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to connecting with you all again in the very near future. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day. And everybody, please, please continue to stay safe. Thank you very much.